That one does not want to stay. As you know, I've been going through both my wardrobe and pattern collection and trying to be my definition of ruthless and whittle down both into only things that I absolutely love. The last dress category that I've got to do is my knit dresses, and I thought it would be interesting to do my knit dress pattern collection at a similar time. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. I think I have made 1, 2, 4. I've made more than that, but I still have 4 of the styles or 4 of the knit patterns made up in my wardrobe. In fact, one of those is actually a woven that Mum and I have turned into a knit. So yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting category, and I think it's going to be one that maybe I can let a few go. We shall see. I do have quite a few. Lots of these have been in my stash for a very, very long time. I have gotten better about my pattern collecting, and I haven't placed an order for a good 2 years now. 2 years. I am going to be placing one on Black Friday, I think, maybe. But yeah, this collection is large, so let's just get started. The first one is the Vogue 1841, a Badgley, I always say this name wrong, Badgley Mishka pattern. I bought it because of the bodice. I absolutely love the top half of this dress. I'm not a pencil skirt fan. I don't love wearing them, so I can imagine taking this pattern and putting on a fuller, maybe even just an A-line skirt, but just a different skirt that makes this work for me. I love it in the ombre sequins that they've got on the front. I think the sleeves are absolutely amazing. I really would like to make this one staying. Next up, we've got the Vogue 9264, which was part of my pattern swap with Monica. This is a lovely dress and very reminiscent of the Victory Patterns Jackie dress, which is one of the ones that I have made. It's a PDF, so it's not in this bunch, but it is a really, really amazing dress, and I highly recommend. The sleeves on this one are slightly different. They have gathering at the top. They're like mini Lego mutton sleeves. I really do like this one. I haven't made it up yet, and honestly, I probably won't, because I have the Jackie dress. There are some differences. The Jackie dress, the neckband kind of, or the higher raised neckband is included in the pattern pieces. It has a back slit, and it has button and button loops at the back as well to fasten it. This is a pullover dress, and as I say, the Jackie dress has very plain sleeves, and this one has sleeves that have got a little puff at the top. The Jackie dress also has a seam at the center back waistline to accommodate for all of those things that I've just said, the split at the back and the button up loops. So I'm never going to make this one. I've got the Jackie dress. I love it. I love this pattern too, and if I hadn't got the Jackie dress, then I would highly recommend this one as a dupe for it, because you can get Vogue on discount, $7, and it would be less expensive than the Jackie. But the Jackie is different and does have different features, but because I have that one, I won't make this one up, so this one's going. Next we have the Vogue 9199, which I have made a couple of times. I really love this dress. I wear it quite frequently. You can get this one out of 2.5 meters of a directional print if you're really, really careful. I have made the longer version with the long sleeves, but I have leveled out the hem. I don't mind a high-low hem, but for some reason for this one I decided I wanted it to be one level. I have about 6 or 7, although quite a few of those are going to go because they're wrong colors for me, but I do love this dress, and I highly recommend this pattern. Next we have the Vogue 8489, and this was part of a pattern swap with the very lovely Jennifer. She gave me a Etsy gift voucher, and I bought this pattern thinking it was for wovens, and it's actually for knits. I have a feeling that it's going to be a really lovely pattern, but I want to try this one in a woven, which is going to be interesting, because going from a woven to a knit there are changes that you can make, but going from a knit to a woven is a lot more difficult. I've heard, I've never tried it, but this one does have a center back zip still, and it does have gathering over the bust, so if I'm careful about the fabric I pick, I do think this one could work. So yeah, gonna give this one a go. Next up is the Vogue 8825. I actually have done a sew along for this one, which you can find up here. I love this dress, and I love how I made 2 of them. I made a all black version to try the dress out. I really liked it, and then I did the navy and white Greek key viscose jersey ponte combo for the sew along, and again I really like that dress. I just never wore it because it was a pencil skirt and it felt very, very formal. Now again, I think I can tweak the skirt of this because I love the bodice, I love the big dramatic bishopy sleeves, I love the waist height, I love the rup at the front. I think if I add flare to this skirt, then it will end up being a wrap dress that I love and wear. So I am keeping this one and I do really like it. We've got another Vogue and it is 8685. This is a Vogue options pattern, which again I kind of thought was for wovens, and it turns out it's for knits. I can imagine that I will really, really like the full skirted versions of this. For me, knit dresses kind of are autumn winter dresses, mainly because I make a lot of them from scubas, which are polyester fabrics, and I are like a little personal sauna suit, which is something that I want in the winter because I am a lizard and I am always cold. But for the summer months, that would, I couldn't wear that kind of thing. I would want a cotton or a viscose jersey. This pattern recommends lightweight double knits, lightweight jersey, cotton knit. So yeah, the lighter side of kind of a very lightweight ponte might work for this. It does, like I say, have a zip up the back, which will help get in and out of a ponte if you do decide to use that one for this pattern. I like this. I like the shaping around the waist and over the top of the hips. I like the bodice. I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to keep it and give it a try. Next up we have McCall's 7683, which was part of my pattern swap with a very lovely Tracy B. I think this is a gorgeous dress, and one of the contestants on the sewing bee used it. She made it up in a scuba and it looked amazing, but the only one that I would do is probably the V-neck, and it's still very wide cut, so it wouldn't really work for me because I prefer to wear a bra. Yeah, I think this one needs to go. It's a lovely dress, but I'm trying to be more realistic about the types of things that I enjoy wearing, and I know this neckline would drive me nuts, so that one's gonna go. Next up we've got McCall's 7186. This is another one that I bought because I love the top half of this one. This doesn't have a waist seam, although a waist seam could definitely be put in, or you could do something very similar to the McCall's 7391, which I have got a sew along for, and the pattern is coming up, where you just kind of like make the wrap at the front, you kind of make it an overlay for a bigger skirt. I don't know, it's a pencil skirted dress. I have the 7319. I'm never gonna make this one, am I? I love my 7319. It took a lot of work to get it to the point where I loved it, but I love that dress. I was wearing one of those yesterday. This one's gonna go. Next we've got McCall's 6754, and I've made 30 of these. Probably, yeah. I love the bodice. The skirt's way too short for me. My niece had all of these. I probably didn't make 30. I probably made about 20, but I made a lot. When I first discovered that knits were easy to work with, and especially pontes and scubas were really easy to work with, and this dress took 2 meters, I made a bunch, and absolutely I made loads of them. So I need to put a longer skirt on it, but I do love the bodice of this one. I haven't made one for ages, but I'm not going to get rid of that pattern because I do very much like it. Next we have McCall's 7121, which is a really simple, are they all racer back style backs? No, there is a racer style back or a kind of just V back. I really liked the pattern envelope for this one. It's a really simple dress with the stripes, would be really effective. I think I'm going to keep this one because I can see myself making this. Like I said earlier, I kind of see knit dresses as more winter autumn appropriate because of the fabrics I've chosen in the past, but in a striped cotton jersey I can see this being awesome, so I am going to keep that one. These ones I want to love, but having said all the things I've just said, I don't think I'm ever going to wear them. The first one is 7993, and it's particularly version C and B that I love. I don't want the big band around the bottom. I prefer the band on C, which is it's just a hem rather than an actual band. But I love the sleeves and I love the neckline. I could totally put a waistband in and a waist seam and a waistband in and make this as a jumper, and I would wear this. But I do have the Hey June Sheridan sweater, blazer, which has similar sleeves and a similar neckline. So I'm gonna let this one go. I'm really sad about it, but I just don't enjoy wearing this kind of clothing. I prefer fuller skirts, as we have discovered. So that one's gonna go, as is probably this one. McCall's 7430. Again, I think it looks amazing on the girl, the sample that they've made up. The color blocking on this is really, really clever. It's going to be very, very form skimming, because if you're clever with the dark panels down the sides, it's going to look awesome. But I just don't wear these kinds of dresses. This is really hard because I love these patterns. I really do love both of these patterns, but I just don't think that I would ever feel comfortable in it. I can see myself making it up. I just don't think I would feel comfortable wearing it. So it's gotta go. Oh, I'm sadder about that one than the other one, but the other one's just as nice. It's got better sleeves. Oh, this is hard. Next we have McCall's 8142. I love this. I do have the Nina Lee Q dress, which is very similar. Yeah, so this one has the sleeves on the pink one on A are amazing. I will never make the one-shouldered one because I don't like asymmetry, and again, I wouldn't be able to wear a bra with it. But the neckline, it's very similar to the Nina Lee Q dress. That's not like, I'm sure the actual making of it is different because the skirt doesn't look like it has any gathers in this one, and this one does have gathering in the skirt, and there are more options for the skirt on this one. You can do the slit at the front, you can do just a normal skirt, or you can do a ruched pencil skirt. So there are more options on this one, but the neckline is very similar to this one. Having said all that, I think I'm going to keep both. This one because I spent a lot of money on it. Rachel made one of these up in some glittery sequin fabric from Lady McCall, and it looked amazing, and I'm not ruling out going and buying some of that glittery red fabric and making my own one of those because hers looks so good. But again, this is a really good dupe for the Nina Lee Q dress. I love the big bishopy sleeves on this. I think they are absolutely amazing, and there are more skirt options in this one, so I'm keeping both of those. It's quite interesting actually, like looking at the patterns like this and analysing them, because I hadn't even in my head kind of put that I had the 8142, and I saw Rachel make up the Nina Lee Q and I was just like, oh, I need that, and I have something really similar already. I need to do this more often and familiarize myself with my patterns more often for sure. Okay, next we have McCall's 8037. This one I think I bought for the neckline of C, which is the low cowl neck. I do like the neckline of A as well. This is kind of like an evening gown, and it is amazing. Very first dressmaker's ball I wore a stretch velvet evening gown, and it was nice, but I kind of wish I'd made more of an effort for that one. Having said that, there are some amazing stretch velvets out there. I've got a Jackie dress in a navy one, and I've got a Jackie dress in a green one, and I've got some royal blue up there. They're really comfy dresses to wear at home for like fancy events like Christmas Eve, although I wore my navy Jackie dress to my neighbour's 40th birthday party. Maybe I'll keep this one. I'm not going to. I won't be able to wear the kind of bra that I like with any of these versions. This one has to go. I'm being ruthless. Next we have McCall's 8107. This one I actually do want to make up, and I want to make up View B in a couple of cotton jerseys for the very hot summer months. I really like this because it has the kind of like fit and flare over the hips, but it's a really subtle one. So this one I am going to keep, and this one I am going to try and make. I think this one would be really good as well when I go to visit my brother in Kuala Lumpur, because skimming rather than cinching. So this one is staying. I like this one. This one, however, the McCall's 7653 from Tracy B, again one of the KB pattern swaps. I absolutely love View C with the little kind of sleeve caps and then the cowl, but again they're all pencil skirted dresses. There's a little bit more flare to B, but there's no waistline in it. Now again, I could easily add a waistline or a waist seam and add a different skirt onto this, but I do have this over at cowl neck dress and t-shirt, which again also is a very similar look to View D of this one. It doesn't have the waist seam in it, but I could always add that on. Yeah, I'm not going to keep this one. For me, I am being ruthless. This one, the Mimi G Simplicity 8547. Now I absolutely love this dress. It is the spitting image of, I always get this wrong, I say it's Tory Burch, but it's Diane von Furstenberg, and I have tried to make this one up in the past and it didn't look great on me. Quite a few people let me know that, but I think I want to try again. And whilst the Diane von Furstenberg dress is amazing, ignore that one, because whilst technically some of the colours are good for me, the positioning of them is not. I want to put the darker colours towards the bottom. I did flare the skirt out on the Mimi G one a little bit more, but I need to add a little bit more flare to it, and I added the flare to the grey panel at the bottom, not the one that goes over the hips. I need to add a little bit more to the hips as well, just to make it work for me. The back V of this was incredibly low to the point where I couldn't wear a bra with it, but I do want to try this one again, and I actually think this would be a really good candidate for some of the stretchy, shiny fabrics that I have been playing around with this year and failing utterly with, my Star Trek dress. But I do think this could be a good candidate for colour blocking, so I am going to keep this one, and I am going to try this one again soon. Next we've got Simplicity 9174 from Heather, again from a pattern swap, and I have both size bundles of this one. I really like this one because it's got that blousey kind of like oversized top to it with the funnel neck, but then it's very fitted at the waist and flares into a gentle skirt, like a gentle flared skirt at the bottom. I want to try this out. The trouble with this one, I can see it being in one of those kind of chunkier knits, and they're slightly more expensive per meter. I've fallen in love with one from Minerva Crafts, which is £30 a meter, and I want to make a Jackie dress out of it, which is ridiculous. It's going to be like a, what, £120 dress, which is a lot of money for when you're making it yourself, but actually realistically it's not a lot of money for what a dress of that kind of quality and labor intensiveness should cost, but that's a whole different issue. But I can see myself trying this one, so I am going to keep this one and I am going to give it a go. We have Simplicity 1653. It's one of the Amazing Fit ones, and I got this with Sew magazine. I do really like the faux wrap at the front, the little tie at the side. I kind of like the ruching detail over the middle. I think it looks really, really lovely. This one has short sleeves, long sleeves, or fluttery sleeves. I want to give this one a try. I can see myself wearing this one, even though it's not the fullest of skirts. It's a this one would be my kind of like minimum amount for a skirt, so I am going to keep this one. Next we have Butterick 6724, which is from the pattern swap with Heather, so again I have both size bundles. I really like how this one looks. I think the colour blocking on this one is really interesting. I don't like asymmetry in my clothes. I really like how the stripe looks. I think playing around with the stripes is really, really fun and an interesting way of kind of putting clothes together and playing with fabric. I don't like asymmetry in my clothes. This one's got to go. Oh, I'm being brutal. This is a really, really old one. I've had this one for ages. It's Butterick 5780. Now, this one does have a lot of things that I like, and it does have a waist seam in it, which means that I can put on a different skirt. So I am going to keep this one. It's recommended for rayon spandex, cotton spandex, designed for two-way stretch knits. I like the neckline. I like the sleeves. Yeah, I want to give this one a try with a different skirt. Okay, having said all that about asymmetry, I think I want to keep this one. This is Butterick 6680, and the reason I want to keep this one over this one is because the hemline, whilst being asymmetric, is level. In my head that makes sense. I think this is really, really pretty. I like the gathering and the ruching at the side. Again, as I said earlier, I think that can be a really flattering detail. Again, I love how they've played around with the yellow stripes on this one. This would be really easy to also add sleeves to if you decided that you would prefer sleeves rather than sleeveless. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't just added a sleeve option in, but taking like another dress and tracing the arm side and using the sleeves from that one would work very easily. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they haven't just included a sleeve with this one, but I do want to give this one a try. I like it a lot. It's meant to be moderate stretch knit, jersey interlock, cotton knits, rayon knits, so there are some amazing prints out at the moment. I could actually see myself just straight up making this yellow and white stripe one in a bright yellow that works for me, so I'm keeping that one. Then we have Berda 6829, which is absolutely gorgeous. I really like how this one looks. I think both of the models look amazing in it, but it's not a kind of dress that I would feel comfortable wearing, so this one's going. Now we're into the larger envelope. So we've got Lorcan Mulaney for Bevel Sassoon Vogue 1600, and this was a pattern from Crystal. I love this. I think this is absolutely beautiful. The line drawing, I'm going to put that up for you rather than the envelope because it's a beautiful black dress, but it's really difficult to see what's going on. So yeah, I'm going to put the line drawing up for you. This one is going to be interesting. It suggests fabric wise moderate stretch knit, matte jersey, ponte knit, silk jersey with a contrasting mesh, and then you need to have flat trim, 8 yards of flat trim to sew down to it. I really want to give this one a try. I think it's beautiful, so this one's staying. Then we have the Indian dress from Ploen Patterns. Again, the very lovely Josephine sent me a couple of Ploen patterns to have a look at. I haven't tried any of them yet, which is terrible. I really ought to pull my finger out and give them a go. This one I'm going to keep. I really like the princess seams on it. It's got a fuller skirt or a thinner skirt option. I will obviously go for the fuller skirt because that's my preference, and probably the longer one as well. Yeah, keeping that one. And thank you very much to Josephine for that. McCall's 7319, the one that we were talking about earlier that there is a sew along for. I absolutely love this. I've made a lot of these. I've got 4 of them still in my wardrobe. Is that right? Yes, I've got 4 still in my wardrobe. I have plans to make another one from the viscose jersey that I've got from Foliage Canopy. I can also see myself making more of these. I love how this has turned out. It took a lot of work to get it looking like that one. This is the pattern. This is the only skirt option, which is not this skirt option or this skirt option. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just not. But I show you how I made it into the one that looks like this. Love this pattern. I'm keeping this. 100% gonna make more. We've got Vogue 1721. I really like this one. It has everything that I say I like. It's got the high neckline, it's got the big sleeves, it has a waist seam, it's got Dior darts, and it has a big floofy skirt. I definitely want to give this one a try. And we've got Vogue 1632. I actually featured this in a Get the Look for Less. I can't remember. I think it was Gian Battista Bali dress that I was duping with this one. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and I 100% want to make this. The pattern actually comes as a top, a dress, and then there's trousers included, which you don't see on the envelope. I can't imagine myself ever wearing this as a top, but if I lengthen the skirt, which I think I will be able to do, I think I would love this one. I think it would be another one that would be like a kind of like a fancy occasion but at home comfy dress. Like when you're hosting and cooking and stuff like that, you want to look good but you also want to be comfy. I can imagine wearing something like this. So yeah, I want to keep that one. And then the last knit dress pattern I have is the Vogue 2556, which is an Issey Miyake pattern. This thing is amazing. It is not me at all, I don't think. So it's a 2-way stretch knit, nylon lycra, cotton lycra and wool lycra. This pattern sells for about 35 to 40 pounds on eBay. So if I sell this one, I will be selling it for a comparable price, but I think I'm actually going to keep it. I actually want to give it a try because yes, it's a pencil skirted dress. If I can, I will put up line drawings of this one. It's a skirt as well, but I really want to try this one. I was intrigued by it when I bought it. I'm still intrigued by it now. Even though it's asymmetric and slimline, all the things that I've said that I don't want, I want to give it a go. I want to try it. I want to give it a try. I can imagine doing it in 2 tones of green as well. I think that would look amazing. So brighter greens that work for me and my spring colours, but I want to give this one a go. But that's the last knit dress pattern that I have. So I've got rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got rid of 9 and kept 22. Yeah, I have made a fair few of these and I do envision myself making the ones that I have kept that I haven't tried yet. I do have a few more knit dress patterns in my PDF stash. Yeah, we've established that buying fabric, buying patterns and sewing are all completely separate hobbies, which is a great thing because I excel at all of them. Well, I mean, that's a little bit maybe extreme. I enjoy all of them. Battery's dying, 2 secs. One of the other things that I think about when I do these kind of clear outs as well is that I'm in my mid-40s now. I'm hopefully going to be sewing for the rest of my life, which hopefully might be the same amount of time again, if not more. I've never been one that follows fashion. I'm wearing a very 70s-tastic dress today that I absolutely love. So whilst fashion obviously comes and goes, and things that may be in style, or you know, I mean, who knows, in the future you maybe just buy one piece of fabric and then click a finger or a button on a computer and you can make it into anything that you want it to be, and everybody's wardrobes will be completely revolutionized. That would be amazing. But I can see myself making these things and liking these things because the ones that I've picked and the ones that I am keeping are because they work for my preferences and my figure, and hopefully are kind of like timeless for the way that I like to get dressed and the things that I like to wear. They might be very dated very quickly in terms of what is technically on trend and in style for that season, but I have found that I am much happier when I dress in a way that makes me happy, and most often, more often than not, in fact most of the time, in fact if not all the time, that is not fashionable remotely. Sometimes I'm very lucky and the things that I like will be in fashion, but majority of the time no. But I it's one of those things that I've just worked out that the things that I want to wear that make me happy are ones that give me confidence, and I don't care if I'm not trendy or, you know, wearing the it colour or the it shape or the it anything of a season. So whilst I'm willing to get rid of these ones for what I think are good reasons, because of the shapes of some of them and because I have very similar patterns for some of the other ones, I can't imagine ever regretting getting rid of them. The two jumper dresses, the two McCalls jumper dresses, I am kind of like, oh, I want them, but I know if I make them up, I would never reach for them. I know that about myself. So yeah, they're going in the to be sold pile, which hopefully will be coming soon on my new website. I've just got to build it. I can do it, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my choices, but I'd be really interested to hear what you guys think in the comments section down below. Are there ones that I've kept that you think I should have got rid of? Are there ones that are going to be up for sale that you think I should keep? Let me know what you think. And if you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this clear out here.